Well, I think it's like the premier tournament in the state of New Mexico, no doubt about it.
It's just an exciting time. It's March Madness, and the games are exciting.
Everybody that experiences other state tournaments and they come and see ours, or they're a part of ours and they go to another state tournament, coach or a player. Everyone talks about how unique New Mexico State Tournament is.
Welcome to this special edition of Game Time. We are going to preview the upcoming State Basketball Championships with a closer look at some of the teams and players to watch. The State High School Basketball Tournament is one of the best sporting events of the year in New Mexico. Every year, the teams provide some buzzer beaters and upsets and exciting action on the court, and I'm sure this year will be no different. Let's break down the brackets a little bit and start with the girls. In Class 5A, Hobbs reeled off 24 straight wins to start the year. Their only blemish on their resume was a loss to Carlsbad by 2 points on the final game of the regular season. Lady Eagles earned the number 1 seed. Wisdom Anthony leads the way with 13 points a night. They press and get up and down the floor. Hobbs won it all under head coach Joey Carpenter in 2018.
Is there pressure as the 1 seed? Well, there's always pressure. There's pressure every game in Hobbs and Ralph Tasker Arena. Our community expects us to win. We expect to win every single game. It doesn't matter. So, yeah, it's the same pressure, but it's pressure, I guess. We were upset that we didn't win last year, but it is what it is, and we're going to work hard at trying to not allow that to happen again and maybe bring home a blue.
Hobbs will host Albuquerque High in the opening round. Carlsbad, the only team to beat Hobbs, is an 8 seed and Cibola 9, so the Cougars are headed south. Cibola beat Carlsbad once already this season by 8 points in Albuquerque back in December.
I think we're 2 evenly matched teams. I think it was a fair seed between us and them. I'm not super excited about the 5-hour road trip, but that's my job to figure out how to get our team ready to play through that.
Mayfield will meet Cleveland in Las Cruces. The Trojans beat the Storm back in December. Earlier this season, Mayfield head coach George Maya picked up his 500th career win. His Trojans are back in the field, 23-5 record and district champs. Mayfield last won it all in 2011, and that championship was special for Coach Maya.
Well, what I remember the most, and unfortunately it's not about basketball, that's when I lost my dad that year, about 3 days later after we won the state title. But I think what I remember the most about winning the state title is the girls being so close and having one goal in mind, and that's to win the state title. And to eventually get that after working so hard at it, it's just so satisfying, and it makes it so much better to see that the kids smile, because everybody's last game is always a loss. And so when you win the last game and you see the kids crying because they won a state title or because they're smiling because they won, it's just a feeling that you just can't take away.
La Cueva will host Oñate in their opener. La Cueva's Kaya Ingram is averaging 19 points a night, and she feels confident about her team's chances.
I'm excited going in. I think winning district was definitely good for us. It helped us with seeding and all that, but I think we could really go far in the tournament. I think our matchups are good for the first round and continuing on, so I'm just excited.
We definitely have the chemistry going. These girls always work hard. You just have to get a little luck on our side and hit your free throws. And I guess the free throws is my biggest concern, probably.
On the other side of the bracket is Volcano Vista against Deming. The Hawks last won state in 2016. Centennial will take on defending state champ West Mesa. The Sandia Matadors are the 7 seed and will meet up with Farmington. Now, the Matadors are 21-4 with only 1 senior on the roster, but most of them played in the state tournament last year, and they are hot right now. They've won their last 12 games.
We're happy to get a top 8 seed. One of our goals at the start of every year is to earn a top 8 seed in the tournament so we get a home game. As far as our matchup, Farmington is a very good basketball team, played in the best district in the state by a long shot. They have a really, really good lead guard, one of the best in the state for sure, and then a whole bunch of other kids that can shoot the ball and play. So we're going to have to be smart and tough. They try to speed you up, so we need to make good decisions, and I think it'll be a heck of a game.
Manzano marched into the bracket to take on 2nd seed Piedra Vista. And how about those Monarchs? Back at state for the first time since 2010.
So as far as our seeding goes, to be quite honest with you, as coaches and players, We weren't sure if we were even going to get in, to be quite honest with you. So with that being said, I think we're pretty excited. And we knew there was a chance, we would be right there with Albuquerque High, and then being that we had the head-to-head matchup with them, it was kind of touch and go for a little while. As far as our matchup with Pedro Vista, don't know too much about them. I just know they're very talented. They've played La Cueva the last 3 weeks, and they've had some tight games. Got some film on them. Already seen a little bit of film on them, and it's going to be a tough matchup for us. But we're looking forward to the challenge. It's been 10 years. It's been 10 years. I was my first year in Manzano. We went to Gallup and lost a real close game, and we haven't had the opportunity in 10 years to be in this situation. So our admin's excited, the whole program is excited, our boys coaches are excited, our girls are excited. So it's just an amazing opportunity, and we're just fortunate, and we're thankful that we have an opportunity like all the other teams that are in the state tournament, and we feel that it's a blessing right now.
Moving on to Class 4A. The state's second largest classification has been dominated by Los Lunas. The Tigers have won back-to-back state titles and played in the final 6 of the last 7 years. Head coach Marty Zeller has his program playing their best ball at the right time. They haven't lost since the day after Christmas. Their only loss to a team in their classification was dropping to Kirtland Central earlier in the year. Los Lunas is the top seed in Class 4A, and here's why.
The Los Lunas girls basketball program and head coach Marty Zeller set up residency at the pit every March.
My first year here was it was a big deal. The big saying was trip to the pit, trip to the pit, which, the group didn't even know what Selection Sunday was.
They've come a long way from trip to the pit to expecting to make it to the final every season. They've played in the title game 6 of the last 7 years.
Zeller calls it our home away from home. So, I don't want to say that we're used to being there, but we for sure expect to be there.
Coach Zeller always talks about our standard, and that our standard is set really high, and our expectations is to play in the pit that Friday night every year. It's expected of us.
This team's definitely expected to win another state title.
But winning back-to-back titles last year wasn't on everybody's mind.
If I were going to pick out a particular year that would be a surprise, it would have been last year, because the year before we won state and we lost our top 5 scorers and we lost our top 5 players, so to speak.
It was just so special because we lost so many key players the year before. So just coming back and winning it again, it felt like it was our team, and we proved that we could do it on our own.
And now they're in a position to do it a 3rd straight time. Not much has changed in regards to their style. This group will press, push the ball offensively with an easy basket mentality.
If you steal the basketball, we're looking to push and every opportunity we possibly can. If we're going to steal the basketball and hold it, we're not going to have those opportunities.
It's kind of just a give and go, all gas, no brakes, Just got to keep running, tire teams out. That's how we play.
Zeller only has 8 varsity players. He says he gives them a conditioning test on day 1 to determine if they're either varsity material or they're not.
It's a good test. You do get tired the first day, but it's nice just to come into the program, especially if you're new, and just know that if you want to play for this team, you have to be in shape. That's one of the priorities.
Due in part to that conditioning, Zeller usually has his team peaking at the right time.
In the 2015 year, we were 5-2 and we finished 30-2. And this year we were 5-4, and we were close to 5-5. Close to 500.
And now they haven't lost since late December.
They had set a goal at the beginning of the year to go undefeated this year, and I thought that was pretty unrealistic as young as we are. So maybe next year, and we're moving up to 5A, so if you're going to do it, let's go, bring it on. We want Hobbs and Piedra Vista, Volcano Vista, La Cueva.
To all Class 5A teams, be ready. The Tigers will be coming soon, and we've seen what they're capable of.
Coach Zeller shared with me a story about that first state championship the Tigers won and how he believes it was really meant to be. The final score in his first state championship was the last 4 digits of his phone number, and it was on his wife's birthday as well. Maybe this year there's a little fate involved as well. Los Lunas will see St. Pius in the opening round. Brio Rodi is in her first year in charge of the Sartans. Española will face Bloomfield. Pewaukee gets Lovington. Highland is hosting Goddard. The Lady Hornets are 18-7 and had a tough pre-district schedule against teams like Los Lunas, Volcano Vista, and La Cueva, but they've won 11 of their last 12 games. Portales will have a home game against Valley. Bernalillo gets Grants. The Pirates are led by head coach Josh Grine, who is 16-11 on the year and driving that program in the right direction. Gallup will see silver in the opening round. Then it's rivals Shiprock and Kirtland going head-to-head. Taitland Manheimer leads the Lady Broncos with 13 points a game. Kirtland Central was upset in the district tournament by rival Shiprock. Kirtland Central won 19 state titles, more than any other program, but none since 2012. The pressure to hang another banner is there every March.
Every year is a pressure year for Kirtland Central. Like I said, 19 titles. They expect us to be there. The fans expect us to be there, and we tried last year. We just came up a little short, and we're going to try to get another title this year. But we got to go game by game just to give ourselves a chance to be in that opportunity to play in the state championship.
The Class 3A bracket should be a good one. Navajo Prep enters the tournament as the top seed in their class. Their only losses are to Gallup and Kirtland Central. Navajo Prep is currently riding a 12-game win streak and blowing out opponents, winning by an average of 30 points a game during that stretch. Navajo Prep is coached by Rainey Crisp. Here's a little throwback video when Rainey played for Navajo Prep and helped the Lady Eagles lift the blue trophy. She has since transitioned from standout player to coach, and she says this program hasn't had this much talent since they last won it all in 2009. We recently asked her if this team is good enough to win it all.
They do. They really do. The thing that I stress more to them is being on that court, you have to have each other's back, and we had our great talks earlier in the season about, what it took, for Navajo Prep to win state championships, and they have it. It's going to be tough. It's a tough road to it, but I think we can do it.
Navajo Prep gets Crown Point in the opening round. The winner will face either Laguna Acoma or Tucumcari. Hatch Valley is a 5 seed. Ben Trujillo's group is 22-6 after winning their district tournament championship. The Bears will host Zuni.
As far as getting the 5 seed this year, I thought we might get a 4, but 4 and 5 are essentially the same seed, and we're excited about it. Hosting Zuni, it's going to be a tough game. We played them earlier this year, and they beat us in the championship of a tournament. So, I know they're going to come in prepared. They shoot the ball really well. We're going to have to get out and defend and play better than we did last time if we want to win. Our team, I think they're built for this time of year. I have 2 senior guards who have been with me since 8th grade, Madison Williams, and then my daughter, Tavin Trujillo, who's made all district all 5 years, and the last 2 years has been player of the year for the district. 2 other seniors, Valerie Garay and Katie Donahue, who have been with me since they were freshmen on varsity. They bring a lot of experience, but not only the seniors. I have a sophomore, Mackenzie Williams, who this is her 3rd year on varsity, and as an 8th grader, a huge contributor as our 6th man. And then we have 3 juniors that are, again, since freshmen, they've been with us on varsity, and Priscilla Chaitis, Natalie Molinar, and Shaniqua Alanis. So I think we're experienced and ready to handle the pressure. But again, it's going to depend on who plays the best in these next 4 games. But I do like our chances.
West Las Vegas will meet district rival St. Michael's in the opening round. Tohatchi earned a 3 seed and will take on Dexter. This Tohatchi group is up-tempo with pressure defense, and they're exciting to watch. Montana Soto is scoring about 13 points a game, and Cameron Sosi adds a dozen a night. Santa Fe Indian School is the 6th. They match up with Theroux. Santa Fe Indian School made it all the way to the state final last year. They came up short in the title game, but they are back in the bracket, this time as that 6th seed. Head coach Patricia Chavez is in her 2nd season in charge at Santa Fe Indian School. She has a good staff, tremendous support from the community, and a group of girls that are small but really competitive.
I think the kids are really starting to trust each other and bond together. Sometimes it's not about X's and O's. It's really about that camaraderie, about being together as a team and sharing the love, I call it. And just recently, in the last few weeks, the kids came up with a championship mentality. We got to come up with a championship mentality and play like that every game.
It's a new season once it comes to state. Like, your rankings really doesn't matter. If you beat them 3 times, it really doesn't matter because it's a new season. Everybody wants that blue trophy just like we want it.
Just to get that blue and that, the medal and everything is just a feeling that we all want to have.
Socorro is the 7 against defending state champ Robertson. The Cardinals have 5 players returning from last year's title team, but overall they're a young team rebuilding with 7 sophomores and a freshman and an 8th grader. Tularosa is the 2. They will see Sandia Prep in the opening round. Let's take a little break before we talk 2A. We'll be back with more Game Time after this.
New Mexico Gas Company rebate programs can help you save money and use energy more efficiently. Your furnace is essential for those colder seasons. Natural gas is the best way to heat your home. A natural gas furnace offers exceptionally even heat. It also costs less than most other heating systems. Have a high-efficiency heater or boiler installed by a participating contractor and earn up to a $375 rebate. For more information on New Mexico Gas Company rebate programs, visit nmgco.com.
Do you love sports? Do you want a front row seat for exciting high school sports action in New Mexico? If the answer is yes to either of those questions, then becoming an interscholastic sports official may be right for you. The New Mexico Officials Association is looking for individuals age 15 years or older to serve as officials in 10 different sports. No experience is necessary and training is provided. If you're interested, call 505-923-3110. That's 505-923-3110, or go to the website nmact.org and click on the Officials tab.
Welcome back to this special state basketball tournament preview episode of Game Time. Let's talk girls Class 2A. Peñasco is the heavy favorite as the team to beat. They are the #1 seed, but they've never won a girls state basketball title. They are 27-2 coming into this one with their only losses to Bernalillo and Escalante. This year, they have one of the top players in the state in Carly Gonzalez. She's a senior captain, 5'10", and a double-double player.
Carly Gonzalez is probably one of the top posts, I think, in the state. You know, she's one of the top posts I've ever even worked with, even at the college level. When I got her, when she started working out with me, she really didn't know a whole lot. So we've been working a lot on her post moves.
I've noticed that basic skill work that she's taught me, that just trusting the process has really paid off.
You know, she's super quick. She's a 2-time state champion in cross country. So, you know, she has the athleticism. You know, she runs our break half the time. So she's just a basketball player.
Peñasco will face Loving in the opening round. Escalante and Rehoboth will play on Friday. Magdalena is the 5, and they will meet Cuesta. Lordsburg will host Cloudcroft this week. On the other side of the bracket, it's Newcomb and McCurdy. Texico will take on Clayton. Now, Texico lifted a girls' basketball blue trophy back in 2018, and some of these girls won a state title in volleyball just a few months ago. Defending state champ Pecos is a 7 seed this year. They will host Alamo Navajo. This year's Pecos group is young with only 2 seniors on the squad.
We don't feel that there's any pressure to repeat. That is obviously our main goal, is to win the state championship. But right now, that doesn't happen if we don't take care of business on Friday.
Last year's state runner-up, Mescalero Apache, is the 2 seed. Their first round matchup is Eunice. Now, on to Class 1A girls. Logan is #1. They are 22-4. Earlier this season, Logan won the EPAC tournament for the first time in 43 years. They came back from 16 points down and 2 overtimes to win that championship, so they know something about fighting to the finish. Their style is fast with high intensity. They lost to rival Melrose in the district championship game, but they are ready to make a run in this bracket.
I feel very blessed to be on one of the most talented and athletic teams that Logan Varsity Girls Basketball has ever had. And I believe we're playing really good solid ball right now, but we haven't peaked yet. And going in the state tournament, we're very focused, we're very humbled, and we're very hungry. And I just believe with God's favor that we can bring home the blue.
Winning a state championship title with the group of girls I have this year would be a huge accomplishment, not only to me, but to my coaches and teammates, especially seeing that we haven't won a girls' state basketball title since 2013, and especially seeing that it's my senior year, and it would make it even more bittersweet and special to all of us.
We previously won the 2019 state championship volleyball game. We went in the underdogs and learned a lot about perseverance and having the right mindset. It really shows this basketball season. 10 of the 14 girls that were on that team now play basketball. And we learned that it doesn't matter how strong you start the season, it matters how strong you finish it. And we've had an amazing start and hope to have an even better finish. And we can't wait to see what the state tournament is holding for us.
I saw a tweet on Selection Sunday from a fan predicting Dora will shock the world. Well, they have their work cut out for them in the opening round against Logan. Tatum will take on Cimarron. Roy Mascaro will face Animas. Pine Hill earned a 4 and will host Hondo Valley. Pine Hill is coming off a loss to Tohatchi, but they've won 12 of their last 13 games.
We're excited for the 4th seed and be able to host our 2nd consecutive playoff game. It's good for our community, our school, and for our program. We're happy to, it's always exciting to play a team that you haven't matched up with before. Hondo Valley, we've never played them, and so we're looking forward to that matchup, and we'll be ready.
Then it's Fort Sumner and Mountain Air, Gateway Christian and Clovis Christian, Tohatchi and Quemado. Melrose is the 2 seed and will take on Cliff. Keeping with Class 1A, let's switch over to the boys bracket. Melrose is the 2-time defending state champ looking for a three-peat. Melrose is the number 1 seed in 2020. Tate Sorgen is their leading scorer. He's a double-double guy, 17 points, 10 boards a night. Senior Tristan Senna is also a key component to this group at 14 points a game. Now this group is stingy. They only allow 38 points a game. A three-peat is something that hasn't happened in a long time in the boys' smallest classification. The last time it happened was when San Juan won it all in 1961, 62, and 63. So what will it take to make it back to the championship game?
Well, it's a long road. Winning a state championship is not easy. Winning 3 in a row is incredibly hard, obviously. So it's just going to take us staying out of foul trouble, us staying injury-free, and then us executing offensively and defensively every game really, really well to get back to that final game.
Dora gets in as a 16 seed and will take on Melrose. Grady San Juan House will play Quemado. Springer will host Hondo Valley. The Red Devils have 21 wins and only lost to 2 teams this year, including falling to Maxwell 3 times. Springer enters the bracket as a 5 seed.
Well, you know, there's no difference between a 5 seed and a 1 seed in tournament play. You know, what happens is everybody has to come in and play 1 game at a time. You know, you got to play everybody to get to the championship. I'm just fortunate. I'm glad these boys here are with me that were in the tournament. Don't want to look past anybody. Hondo could come back into town and do what they need to do. And I just want to congratulate everybody that made it to the tournament this year. And looking forward to seeing some of the old friends up in the stands again.
Evangel Christian Oak Grove was first in their district. Their overall record is 22-5. They will see Cimarron this week. It's Tatum against Jemez Valley. It was a 20-win season for Tatum. They've won 10 of their last 11 games, and they're coming off a triple overtime win over Elida. Then it's Fort Sumner and Mountain Air. The Foxes played in the title game last year and won it all in 2018. Elida and Logan meet up. Don't sleep on Maxwell. They lost to Melrose twice this season, but they gave Melrose a run for their money in the Mountain Air Invitational in January. Maxwell will meet New Mexico School for the Deaf. Maxwell played in the title game 2 of the last 3 years, winning it all in 2017. On to boys Class 2A. Pecos, Pecos, Pecos. They've won a state title in each of the last 3 years, trying to make it 4 in a row, and they're good once again.
Right now, the road to the Blue Trophy in basketball goes through Pecos. The Panthers won it all in 2017, 2018, and 2019. They're trying to make it 4 in a row in 2020.
You know, they won 1 state championship, and then they won 2, and that bug just kind of has bitten them. And so now, you know, I can't get them out of a gym.
The Panthers brought back 12 of their 14 players from last season and have a roster with 9 seniors. Those upperclassmen don't know anything other than winning a state title.
A lot of the older guys, they tell us, you better win it, you better keep it going.
Xavier Padilla is their 2,000-point man. Anthony Armijo is their floor general point guard, and Ishmael Villegas is their big man in the middle.
The passes.
Up-tempo is how to describe them. These guys like to run. Their coach says it's in the culture.
We're a culture of runners up here. We're high altitude, and we've won state. We won 3 straight years. I think we took 3rd this year, boys. And so really, they're runners. And so that helps us immensely as far as basketball is concerned.
It gives us that advantage. A lot of teams have height. We really don't have that. Our advantage is our speed.
The Panthers take on all comers, even beating Class 5A competitor Clovis earlier this season.
We know what it takes to try and get to the championship game, or just try to get past the first round for that matter, and it's hard, and it's a new season, and so we try to stack our schedule and play the toughest teams we can play.
Their motto is stay humble and be hungry.
Good job, good job.
There is some pressure, but it's like, it's our last year. We just gotta like play how we do. We just want like a perfect ending to like our career and everything like that.
If history repeats itself, the blue trophy might just go to the green and gold again.
Xavier Padilla is averaging 18 points a game for Pecos as they take on Estancia in the opening round. Pecos only has one loss on the year when they dropped one to Santa Fe back in December. The Panthers play up-tempo and try to run you out of the gym. The winner will get either Dulce or Rehoboth. Newcomb will meet Mesilla Valley. Mesilla has some size this year, with 6 guys over 6 feet on the roster, including a pair of 6'5" players. Newcomb made it to the title game last year. They sure do have experience. 10 seniors on this year's team. Manal will host Escalante. The Panthers are an experienced bunch as well. They have 7 seniors on their roster. Santa Rosa will match up with Mescalero Apache. The Lions have some size with 4 6-footers on their squad. Santa Rosa had a tough schedule. For starters, they played Pecos 3 times and faced other state tournament teams like Robertson, West Las Vegas, and Bosque, which are all top 5 seeds at state. Jal and Mora will meet this weekend. Texico will take on Navajo Pine. McCurdy will meet undefeated Magdalena. Magdalena is 27-0. They have 4 players that have scored 30 points or more at least once this season. Jordan Mirabal is averaging almost 18 points a game. His brother Jackson throws in 16, and so does Owen Olney. A lot of basketball fans would love to see Pecos square off with undefeated Magdalena. Those 2 teams were supposed to play earlier this year, but bad weather prevented it from happening. Maybe Mother Nature just wanted to tease everybody until they could meet at state, right? A lot of other teams might have something to say about it, though. Magdalena last won it all in 2015 when they ran the table and went undefeated. Head coach Jory Mirabal says these 2 teams are similar.
That team was very similar from a mindset standpoint to this group. We felt like we had some unfinished business from the season before, and we had a group coming back that really took that day-to-day approach. This group, I think, it mirrors that in some ways. We were an 8 seed last year, and we met Pecos the first round, and they showed us some things that we obviously needed to work on, and so we've been approaching that from that time through the summer and into the off season until now. And so I'd say there's quite a few similarities to the 2 teams.
Still 3 more brackets to discuss. Why don't we take a quick timeout and talk more state basketball when we come back. Boys 3A, 4A, and 5A are right around the corner. Don't go anywhere. Are you living the life of an athlete? The New Mexico Activities Association brings you Life of an Athlete, a resource for students, educators, and parents to understand the challenges students face. Athletes, did you know 1 night of drinking will negatively affect your athletic performance for 2 weeks? Or that athletes who drink and do drugs are twice as likely to get injured? Alcohol's effects can reduce a high school athlete's potential by as much as 20 to 30%. Are you living the life of an athlete? Log on to lifeofanathlete.com to find out today.
I thought I was pretty tough until I became a father.
Oh, I hate those things.
What do you mean you hate them? Real toughness is knowing when you need help.
We've all been there. Fried nerves, no sleep. None of us do it alone. If you need help, you've got to ask for it.
We need to fight for our kids' futures. It's up to all of us to make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Connect with resources and support at pulltogether.org.
Welcome back to this special episode of Game Time. The purpose of this show is to give you, the fan, a look at some of the teams and players to watch. And one player to keep your eyes on, if you haven't seen him already, is Bosque senior Elijah Davidson.
The Bosque School athletic program is known for state titles in tennis, soccer, cross country, volleyball, and even golf, but not basketball.
It's very different because, in previous years we haven't been that team. We haven't been a team that people are really trying to go after.
It's not our goal to prove anybody wrong. It's our goal to go as far as we can and to continue to perform.
Now the Bobcats sit on top of the basketball world as one of the teams to beat.
Well, we're a really fast team. We move down the court really quickly. We play really tough defense, and we shoot a lot of three-pointers. I'd say we're just a good all-around team and really fun to watch.
One high flyer who is fun to watch is senior Eli Davison.
If you haven't seen him, you need to, because a very exciting player.
Eli is pretty much the most insane athlete I've ever played with.
He could just change the momentum of the game so fast and ridiculous hops.
Eli Davison is 6'4", averaging about 20 points a game and committed to play basketball at Western Colorado University.
I think he's the best player in New Mexico, right? Obviously nobody sees him because he plays here, and I always challenge anybody. You come here, you watch him play, you wouldn't question that anymore. But more than that, he's a team player. He cares more about making this team really successful than he does about his own stats, than he does about any accolades or any of that sort of stuff. And that's what helps all of these guys perform very well.
Sometimes you have to sacrifice, and that's one of the things we focus on is that I could be putting up like 45 points and, doing my thing, but if we're not winning and we're not being a team and it's not working, then there's no point in doing it.
He's the leader. He makes sure that everybody's involved. He passes the ball. We make him score. He would rather get 20 assists than 20 points.
Even with one of the top records in Class 3A and one of the most dynamic players on the court, it's still tough to change the perception of the Bobcats.
I think people still look at us and say, that's still Bosque. They're still Bosque Bobcats, and people still expect to beat us. And they still expect that everything that's happening is a fluke. So we're okay with that.
It's certainly fun to have the challenge of, a team bringing their best to you and, trying to stay ahead of them for the whole game.
Bosque has never won a state basketball championship. In fact, they've never even played in the final game.
Our motto this year is Together We Rise. Okay, and the reason we say that is, we have started to build that relationship, build that family, build our core, and we want to bring that up from the bottom to the top.
We'll see if the Bobcats can rise to the top and reach the final on March 14th.
Bosque is the 3 seed in the Class 3A bracket. Their district rival, Sandia Prep, earned top honor. The Sun Devils are led by 6'5" Sam Henderson, who scores over 23 points a game. Sandia Prep is big. I mean big. They start 3 players who are 6'3", 6'4", and 6'5".
We're very humbled and appreciative that we were able to earn the 1 seed. Our total body of work throughout the season was rewarded with the 1 seed. We played a tough schedule. We went undefeated in district regular season, and because of that, we were able to get the 1 seed. I don't think there's any pressure being the number 1 seed. I think right now you're playing in a tournament where you got to win every game. So it's a do or die. It's a do or die tournament, which makes it so much fun. That's why I think basketball this tournament is so fun. Is that it's a one and done. You got to be your best for each and every game. So we're just looking forward to the opportunity to play and to take this head on and try and be our best for 4 games.
Sandia Prep will host Cuba on Saturday. Winner will take on either Tularosa or Cobre. West Las Vegas will take on Tohatchi. Robertson will face Theroux. Robertson's leading scorer is sophomore Matthew Gonzalez, who is putting up over 18 points a night.
He shoots the ball extremely well. His mid-range game is also a big asset. I believe my guard play, or I feel that I may have the best 2-guard tandem in the Class 3A. I believe my guard play or our guard play will take us on a deep run in this year's boys basketball tournament.
Bosque will take on Raton. St. Michael's and Santa Fe Indian School aren't far from each other for their first round game. Navajo Prep and New Mexico Military Institute will meet. Then it's Hot Springs and Socorro. Hot Springs is the defending state champ. They graduated 4 from that squad and brought back 9 players with varsity experience. Here's a look at this year's team.
Last March, the Hot Springs boys basketball team and head coach Derek Bean finished the final game of the season by lifting the Blue Championship trophy.
It's something that I didn't get to experience in the basketball level in high school, and as a head coach, getting to walk down the ramp, it's something we always look forward to, and not having to sit in that little section where all the coaches are that aren't in the game. So, it's a game changer for sure, and it really jump-started the community that's kind of been dormant for quite a while.
The Tigers aren't in a deep sleep anymore. Hot Springs reeled off 15 straight wins to start the year following their state championship.
I think it really just showed that anything is truly possible. They were told for years and years that it couldn't happen, and it finally did, and it just really lifted their confidence and took them to a whole nother level.
Now they're hungry for another one. Hot Springs returned 9 players from last season, but graduated 4 from that group, including some size.
We kind of went back to our, I guess you would say, reality. We thought we had a good-sized team last year, and we're back to our little mighty mites.
We don't have the size that we did last year, but we have a lot of fight, a lot of heart, and a lot of intensity.
Our hearts are still there, our intensity is still there, and our speed is still there.
This guard-oriented team is energetic with a motto of "We is greater than me."
We always push them to bring high energy. The last thing we want to do is come out and get out-hustled. We want to come out with a lot of energy and be ready. Flat is just not an option for us.
We like to have intensity. It starts there, keeps our energy high, and it gets us a good start out to the game.
State championship or not this season, the players appear to be a grounded group.
We got to stay in the moment and have fun, and at the end of the day, we're just kids playing basketball, so just enjoy the moment.
Enjoy the moment. A good message for everyone.
The Valley Vikings won it all last year in Class 4A. They did it as a 7th seed, and this year they won't surprise anyone as they enter the tournament as the top team in their bracket. The Vikings earned the number 1 seed and will start their quest for another blue trophy against Santa Teresa. Santa Teresa won their district tournament to claim the final spot in the bracket. Taos will take on Valencia. Tigers are 21-7 on the year, while the Jaguars are 17-12 with a win over top seed Sandia Prep on their resume.
Well, we're very fortunate and we feel very grateful to have got the 8th seed and to have a home game. This is actually a rematch of last year's first round of state. Only the roles were reversed. We were the 9th seed and they were the 8th seed. We know Coach Maddox does a great job over in Valencia. We know he's going to bring a really solid team up here to Taos. We're excited for it.
Hope will host Academy. Hope Christian and head coach Jim Murphy know a little something about winning state titles. They've won a state title in 9 of the last 11 years. Jim Murphy has won 16 state championships, while the Chargers are back in the tournament for the first time since 2014.
Hope is one of those teams that's so great in the tournament. They're so well coached. They've been there before. I wonder when the last time they even lost a first round game was. It's been forever. But we were excited. We were excited that we know our opponent. We get to be close to home to get to play those guys. We've been fortunate to beat them once this year. So it's kind of a rubber match, like our 3rd time we get to see who's the best team. So we're really looking forward to it.
The good thing is, like you said, your opponent real well. The bad thing is you're playing a team that you've already seen a couple times. And sometimes it's nice to play someone new, but Academy will be a very good challenge for us.
Artesia gets Grants. The Bulldogs haven't won a boys basketball title since 1997. This year, they're 18-9 with wins against Del Norte, Lovington, Chaparral, and Santa Teresa, all who made the 4A field.
Really excited about our 4 seed. I really feel like our resume throughout the year has really done us justice as far as getting that 4 seed. We're 14-2 versus 4A schools. Really feel like we've done enough all year long to get that 4 seed. We draw a Grants team that's very, very athletic. Scary good. I mean, all the time of the year, all teams in the state tournament are good. We're going to have to make sure we come out and play a really good game on Saturday. But just really excited. We've done the work and we've done the stuff that we needed to do to make sure we get that home game, which to me is really important. And we know Grants is going to come here ready to play, but we're looking excited. We're anxious and excited to get to play them. And as far as our team this year, I think we have a very deep team. I think that's one of our strengths is we're very deep. We got a lot of guys that come in and help us. We got a lot of scoring. Our height as well. I really think we're a very tall and athletic team. They can get up and down and match up with anybody in the state. Really excited for the state tournament. Really looking forward to a great game on Saturday. And like always, go Bulldogs.
Highland is coming off a really strong week, capped off by a win over Valley. The Hornets will host Lovington. Both schools won their district tournaments. Highland is on a hot streak right now. They've won 8 in a row, including a victory over defending state champ Valley in that district tourney title game.
We've got a huge challenge on our hands with Lovington. Coach Pack has done a great job. They've won 4 games in a row, 3 of them on the road to win their district championship. They're playing very well. We're also coming in playing very well. On the defensive end, we're getting better as the season has gone along, and offensively our decision making has really improved. I think the key to our success moving forward will be our district, and our pre-district schedule has got us ready, and we've been playing tough teams the whole season. We're going to continue to play tough teams, and we have to continue to play together and play as a team, which is the strength for our group.
Los Lunas takes on Del Norte. The Tigers beat Del Norte back in early December, but the Knights are one of those improving teams. They had district wins this year against Highland, Hope, and Academy.
The last couple of years we've made it to the semifinals as a double-digit seed, and I think a lot of it is our kids are just confident. They know that at this point in the year the seeds really don't matter, and it's just whoever goes out and makes the most plays. And so our kids have played a tough schedule all year, and they're confident in each other, they're confident in themselves, and so we really believe that we can go out and beat anybody. And so we think that when we go out there, it's all fair game.
Española Valley and Kirtland Central will meet up, and Chaparral gets Gallup. Chaparral is the regular season district champ with an even 14-14 record.
Making it a state is a big deal for our program. In the 14-year history of Chaparral, this will be only the second playoff appearance. The last came 10 years ago. This year, we came with the goal of getting that regular season district title, guarantee ourselves in the playoffs, and we're able to do that. So this is a big deal for our program, for the boys in our program, and for the community of Chaparral. Now, what we're hoping to do is make some noise in the playoffs. We'd like to represent the South well, and we'd like to make this a habit. Every year come in competing for district championships and making regular, postseason appearances in the state tournament.
Lastly, boys Class 5A. You can make a good case for several teams lifting the Blue Trophy on March 14th. Anybody can win this one. In the last couple of years in boys basketball, in the state's largest classification, we've seen a 6 seed, a 3 seed, and an 11 seed win it all. The last time the number 1 seed won it all for the boys in the state's largest classification was 2015. Las Cruces will try to make that happen this year. The Bulldogs are number 1 with a 25-3 record. Their only losses are to Volcano Vista and then a pair of defeats at the hands of Oñate. Las Cruces is looking for redemption after an early first-round exit last year. Las Cruces will host Gadsden. Clovis picked up a big road win last week at Hobbs in the district tournament championship game. Clovis will take on La Cueva, and Clovis beat the Bears by 1 point earlier this season in Albuquerque.
Clovis is they're a really good basketball team and well coached. Coach Isler is doing a great job over there. They're fast. They like to run. I think everybody in that district likes to run. Hobbs, them, Roswell. But they got size too. They got a couple of bigs that can rebound for them. It's going to be an interesting game.
We're really excited to get a home playoff game this year. One of our goals this year was to make sure that we played at home. It's very tough to win on the road in 5A basketball. And, we're excited to be playing at home against a good La Cueva team. Our boys right now, our team is made up of a bunch of seniors, some guys that really bought in when I took over the program last year. And it's hard to buy into a new coach, so I'm really excited that our seniors are going to have a chance to play in the playoffs with a home game again. It's really exciting for our Clovis community as we haven't had a home game in 7 years in Clovis, so I'm excited for this community and excited for my team. Our team's made up of a good group of guys. We have really good guards, some good bigs, and one of the best bigs in the state, and Bryce Cabledew. And so I feel like we're a really balanced team. Our scoring, we have a different scoring leader just about every night, so I love the unselfishness of our team.
Defending state champ Atrisco Heritage will meet district foe Volcano Vista in the opening round. This will be their 4th meeting this season. The Hawks lost 2 of 3 to the defending state champs this year.
We're excited to play Atrisco. They're the 2-time defending state champ, and they're playing like it right now. We know the challenge. We understand what's ahead of us. We're going to do our very best to get ready for it and go play them. And they got a great crowd, great support over there. Obviously, they're very well coached. Got a great player, a couple of them, and so it's going to be fun. But we know it's going to be a challenge.
Oñate will host Roswell on Saturday. The Knights racked up an impressive 25-4 record, including a pair of wins against number 1 Las Cruces.
I feel that, we start at the defensive end, try to be the most disciplined team possible on defense, and then go from there. I feel we're playing at a high level. I think there's still one more notch that we can reach to start playing even better. And I think we're starting to hit on all cylinders at the right time. As far as the team that we have, I feel that we do have a team that can make a run and win it all. I feel we have players that complement each other and possibly 2 of the better players in the state.
Santa Fe is home against Carlsbad. The Demons reached the state final last year. District crosstown rivals Cleveland and Rio Rancho square off on Saturday. The Storm are led by Trey Watson, who's averaging 17 points a game.
You know what? We're familiar with them, and it's a district opponent, and it's really tough playing a district opponent again because we've been battling with them for two straight months, and obviously it's our city rival. So once we see them up there, they know us really well, we know them really well. So it's going to be a fun environment, though. It'll be a packed house, and once we seen it, Rio Rancho was on there, we're like, all right, it's time to get ready.
Hobbs will host El Dorado. Shelby Reeves has a pretty experienced group, and of course, some Hobbs speed.
Our kids have worked hard all year long, played a lot of good teams to get to where we're at to this point. Getting the 7th seed means a lot to us because we get to play at home. We get to play against the number 10 seed, which is Albuquerque El Dorado. This year they're 22-5. So I feel like if they would have won their district, they would be a top 14 in the state. It's going to be a very tough game. So, we're looking forward to playing them.
At the bottom of the bracket, Capital will match up against Centennial. The Jaguars have a group with a chance to win it all.
The boys basketball team at Capital High School is described by their coach as a small group with a blue-collar mentality.
Just a hard-working, scrappy, small team, but nevertheless, we just go out there and try to do the best we can with what we have and just not make excuses. We just got to go out there and find a way to win, and these guys have done a good job this year.
Good job is an accurate assessment. They won 10 of their first 11 games, have a top 10 ranking, and only lost to 2 teams in the first 2.5 months of the season.
We have a fast squad, to be honest. We like to run and try to get each other points.
TJ Sanchez is their go-to guy. He recently became the program's all-time leading scorer. It's not hard for head coach Ben Gomez to say something positive about his standout guard.
Man, he's exciting, he's quick, he's athletic, understands the game well, passes well. Sometimes he's his own worst critic, but no, he's a fun player to watch, without a doubt.
The compliments go both ways, as Sanchez is a big fan of his head coach, who's in his 13th year at Capital.
I feel like he's like a good coach because he's in our schools helping us with like schoolwork and stuff, and at practice, like getting on our butts and stuff like that. So he's a really good coach.
Capital hasn't won it all since 2004, but they played in the final 2 of the past 4 years.
Once you make it to the playoffs, you need a lot of luck. You can run every play exactly the same. You can get the shot that you want, but if the friggin' ball doesn't want to go in, man, there's nothing you can do about it except go play defense. And again, it just takes a lot of luck and just getting hot at the right time. If you can do that, you're going to be okay.
Good luck to all the teams competing in the state tournament. Couple of quick notes before we say goodbye. Once we reach the quarterfinals of the state tournament, here's an announcement for those attending games at the Santa Ana Star Center in Rio Rancho. A reminder, the road construction along US 550 is still ongoing. This may cause delays getting to the Star Center. So, depending on where you're coming from, you are encouraged to allow enough time and arrive early. Tickets to the games are $5 for students, seniors, and military, $10 for adults. It's cash only at Bernalillo High School and at the Santa Ana Star Center. At Dreamstyle Arena, the pit, the reserved chairback seats are $15. If you can't make it to the games, the NFHS Network will offer all quarterfinal, semifinal, and championship games live online for a subscription fee. But get to the games. They're a lot of fun in person with an electric atmosphere. Remember, fans, parents, players, and coaches, let's compete with class and respect our opponent. We'll see you on the court.